start, so just give me 1 second.
I can see that you're now streaming live on YouTube. All right,
Yes,
we'll see you in a
we're
bit.
on.
Welcome to Cooking with Frenchie, a new Jewish cooking show brought to you by the Roth Family JCC and the Jewish Federation of the Desert. We're incredibly grateful to the Winn-Dixie at Fern Park, who provided us with the groceries needed to make these amazing meals. We're so excited to bring you Chef Eric Azoulay and his masterful creations. Programs such as this only happen because of your generous support. Thank you for all that you do for the Roth Family JCC and the Jewish Federation of the Desert. We look forward to bringing you more informative, interesting, and educational programs throughout the year. Now, get your supplies and your materials ready and prepare to learn how to create these beautiful and delicious dishes. Bitei Avon. Take us away, Chef Eric.
This program is brought to you by the Roth Family JCC of Greater Orlando. All this amazing food was donated by the Winn-Dixie of Fern Park. And please, thanks to all the JCC of Florida, Boca Raton, Fort Lauderdale, North and South Miami Beach, and of course Tampa. Hi, I'm Chef Eric, but please call me Frenchie. Everybody else does, and honestly, I am way more comfortable with this. Hi guys, welcome back to Jewish Cooking Around the World, and today is our special dessert edition, and we will have a big surprise for you once we're done with our first dessert. I think being a Frenchman, I couldn't do a food show without doing a crème brûlée. So this is what we're going to be doing first, and for the crème brûlée, it's very basic. We need 4 ingredients. We need eggs, we need milk, we need cream. Haha! Actually, I'm cheating. I'm not using cream, I'm using half and half. Why? Because when I first moved to the US, I had a very hard time with the cream in the US. The whipping cream was too thick, the heavy whipping cream even thicker. So I said, you know what? Let me try to do my crème brûlée using half and half. And it worked perfectly well, and I'm super happy with the result. No, once again, this is just my take on it, so I hope you'll enjoy it. So let's resume. We have sugar, milk, half and half, eggs, and some vanilla extract. And with all that, at the end of the show, we'll have a crème brûlée. So let's get going, and I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, so let's get started, guys. Here we have our eggs. We're gonna need 3 egg yolks and 100 grams of sugar. And this is to make 4 crème brûlée. So separate your white from your yolk. You know, fairly easy. I think, no, you have some machines that can do it for you, but you know, it's, I like old school. I like old school. Up, here we are, 1. So this is always easier when your eggs are at room temperature. So make sure that your eggs are at room temperature and you'll be fine. Up. 2. And you can always use your egg white later to do something with it, or you can do an egg white omelette with it, but don't throw them away. All right, that's our third egg. Now, we're going to add our sugar. So this is, how can I say that? So this is a pure vanilla extract. It's super, super potent. This was given to me by a really good friend of mine from Martinique. I just need a few drops. If I didn't have that, I would use fresh vanilla, you know, and I would have cut it, but this is really, really good. And, but it's kind of hard to come by. And I just need a few drops because it's so potent. All right, and now I'm whisking all those together. And what you want to achieve is a nice creaminess. So, of course, you could use a mixer or a blender, you know, to do it. But like for the minute and a half that I'm whisking it, you know, I don't want to go and clean away my, my big mixer. So you see, we're very creamy, we're done. Now, the next step is we're going to boil our cream and our milk, and then we'll pour that on top of the sugar and egg. So I'll see you on the stovetop in a matter of minutes. All right, guys, now we're gonna start boiling our milk and cream. So, right here, I've mixed my milk and my half and half. So I've put 12.5 centiliters of milk and 20 centiliters of half and half. So it's a bit under a cup of half and half, and a bit under half a cup, you know, I would say a quarter of a cup of milk. And we're gonna bring this to a boil. And as soon as it's boiling, we're gonna pour it onto our mix of egg yolk and sugar. All right, so we have our boiled mix of milk and half, and here we have our egg yolk and sugar. And we are gonna start to combine them together. So you go slow, little by little, and you want to melt your sugar completely in there.
Again.
of half and half, and a bit under half a cup, I would say a quarter of a cup of milk. And we're gonna bring this to a boil. And as soon as it's boiling, we're gonna pour it onto our mix of egg yolk and sugar. All right, so we have our boiled mix of milk and half, and here we have our egg yolk and sugar. And we are gonna start to combine them together. So you go slow, little by little, and you want to melt your sugar completely in there. All right. Here we are. And don't put that pot away, because we're gonna use the same pot to thicken our cream. All right, this is ready. I'll see you back at the stove. All right, so here is our mix, and we're gonna put it on the stove. So now, what we have to be very, very careful about is we want to thicken it and be very careful not to bring it to a boil. This, we want to warm it up gently. So we want to keep our heat on low and just whisk it until it thickens a little bit. And that's the only thing we're gonna need. That's the only true action that creme brulee requires. Everything else is super easy, but this is the only tricky part. Don't burn it. Don't boil it. Oh man, that vanilla smells so good. Just give it a little bit more oomph. Oh yeah. So here, a little bit more. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to continue thickening my cream, and I will see you on the island in a minute to show you how to plate and place it in the oven. See you in a minute. All right, so now we have our cream, and as you can see, it has nicely thickened. Let me show it to you guys. See how beautiful and thick that is? So now we're ready to pour it into a ramekin. So the quantity I've given you are for 4 portions. And here. Now, as you can see, I'm using a white kind of cookie sheet And this is what I'm gonna put in the oven. What's gonna happen now is I'm going to pour water in there. And we're going to bake this. It's called bain-marie. So it's kind of steaming, but not really steaming. But it's the steam from the water that is going to continue baking our creme brulee in the oven. Our oven is set at 375, and we're going to put them there for 50 minutes. So catch me at the oven in just 1 minute. So, oven at 375. Let's put our creme brulee in. All right. And now we forget them for 50 minutes. So see you in 50 minutes. All right, we're done with our 50 minutes. Let's take our creme brulee out and be careful, don't burn yourself. Up. Oops. Yeah, this is really hot water, so be very, very careful. Up. No. We're going to take our brulee out. We're gonna let them rest here for a few minutes, and when they cool a little bit, we're gonna put them in the refrigerator for 2 hours. And then we'll be ready to caramelize them and see if Frenchie delivered on the creme brulee. So see you in 2 hours. All right, guys, I've just taken our creme brulee out of the refrigerator. They're beautiful, they're nice and cold. And now I've kept a little trick up my sleeve. You know how dangerous it can be to use a blowtorch. So a few years back, I've discovered Koukal. Koukal is phenomenal. Those are caramel shards. So as you can see, it's already a caramel. And you're gonna pour your caramel directly on top of your cream. So you cover your cream evenly with your shards. And now, you're gonna use, this is an alcohol gel. So it's 100% alcohol in a gel form, and this one is flavored with Cointreau. Cointreau is like triple sec. So, and what you do is, you put some gel in a concentric spiral all over your creme brulee. And of course, Frenchie forgot his lighter. I'll be right back. Frenchie forgot. All right, so now the only thing you do is,
Oh my gosh.
light it up.
It's continuous.
And voila. Look at that. You're gonna have a wonderful caramelization. At the same time, you can offer your guests a real show. I think it's a phenomenal way to caramelize your creme brulee. You could do the same thing on top of a cheesecake, on top of crepe. Everything that you want to caramelize or brulee, you can do it with it. That's why I love this. So at the end of the show, I'll put the contact information about where to find it. And well, we're gonna wait for it to finish caramelize. The great thing also is, once it's done burning, it will be ready. So you see, just a few more flame right here. And you wait until the alcohol has burned all the way. Here we are, and now, look at that. Look at that crunch. All right, let me grab a spoon. So, this is it for me today. As I told you, I have a big surprise waiting for you in a few minutes. But in the meantime, I'm gonna try that creme brulee. Well, I hope that you will enjoy it at home as much as I did today. And I'll see you in a few minutes for a big surprise. Mine. Hi guys, welcome back, and it's time for our surprise. So without further ado, let me call to our little kitchen, Avivit.
Hey, Frenchie.
Hi Avivit, welcome back. It's so good to have you with us today. So Avivit is the Cultural Art Director of the Ross JCC of Greater Orlando. But today, she's here in an extra capacity. She is a full-fledged pastry chef,
Yeah.
which I'm definitely not. So I'm super happy that she's brought us phenomenal rogalach. So,
Here you go. Smell.
oh man, this is beautiful.
Thank you.
Avivit, why don't you take us through all the ingredients that we're going to need to make that dessert?
I would love to, and I'm very excited to be here with you. Chef.
Well, it's so good to have you, Avivit. Without you, this program wouldn't exist. So having you as a guest chef is a true pleasure.
Thank you. So I will start. So to really make a rogalach, it looks so hard, but today I'll teach you how to do it easy and fun. We need 500 grams of flour, 140 milligrams of milk, 100 grams of butter, 2 eggs, 20 grams of yeast, 80 grams of sugar, and 5 grams of salt. That's all to make the dough. Now, after we do the dough and let it rise, we're going to make the sauce that we're going to do the filling. The filling is made of brown sugar, 100% cocoa, dark cocoa, 150 grams butter, and a pinch of cinnamon. And we'll work it together.
All right, then let's get started.
Yep.
See you in a little bit. All right, guys, welcome back. Avivit, let's make some dough. Take it away.
Thank you, Chef Eric. Frenchie, now we'll start. So the first rule really in making the dough is mixing the dry ingredients first and then add the wet ingredients. The last ingredient that should be is the butter. The butter should not touch the yeast. That's why we do everything before. So we will start with the flour after I sifted it. Here you go. Then I'm adding the sugar. And I'm starting to actually let it run to mix it. Making sure it's all been mixed. I'm adding the yeast, which is the most important one. If not, it won't raise, right? Now I'm going to add the salt. I'm making sure there's no yeast that I can see. It's already mixed. Now I'm moving to the wet ingredients, like I said, eggs and milk. As long as we're making sure that we do dry first, wet after, I can guarantee you your dough will be amazing. I'm adding the milk, always keeping a little bit for the ends, and we're going to add the butter. Making sure, again, the butter is the last one that we're going to use, so there's no chance it will touch the yeast. I'm going to pour the butter slowly. Now, just to make sure that it will form to a dough like we want to. If you see it become too liquidy, you add a little bit flour. That's not a big deal. It's really important that the dough will be moist, nice, not too sticky, not too dry, for it to rise, double, and then really be a good fluffy rogalach. So let's give it 5 more minutes from now until the dough is ready for us. This is where we want it to be actually formed to a ball, that it's not too sticky, not too dry, but works beautiful. Look how that, it separates from the ball, but it's not getting stick. So it's really important. If we need to stand here, and that's the thing with the yeast dough. You need to make sure that if you need to add a little bit flour or a little bit more milk, to make sure that it's not too dry or not too sticky. That's a perfect ball. That's what we want.
So one quick question, Avivit. In terms of speed for your mixer, which speed are you setting it?
Thank you, Frenchie. That's a very important question actually for the dough, for the rogalach dough. It has to be on number 2, not more than that. We do not want it to be too fast, because then it won't work on the dough and form it like we need. So number 2, that's the best that we want to have it on the mixer. KitchenAid, a lot of people use it. It's strong and it works beautiful. Look at that, Frenchie.
Perfect.
That's a perfect dough.
It is. All right then.
We're ready.
We're ready, and we'll see you guys in a minute.
Yes. Bye for now. Guys, so we waited 5 minutes to let the dough form to a nice ball. You can see how it looks beautiful. It's not sticky, it's not dry, it's a perfect ball. Okay, so I will take it out of the mixer ball. That's the first step. And I will make sure to actually knead it for a few seconds with my hand, making sure the ball is nice and smooth. There's no too many lines. And I will put it in the bowl to start and rise. Now, I moisten the bowl to make sure that it's actually ready for my dough. And I'm going to put the dough in it, press on it a little bit, moist it again so it won't dry. That's super important. Very little. That's what I did, just to make sure there's no too dryness after. And right now, I'm going to add my ceramic. So that will be closed, and we'll let it rise okay, let it rise. How long? Well, it really depends on the room temperature and the heat or cold outside. But usually it would be around from 1 to 2 hours, really. The whole idea is, the most important, that it will rise double of the size that it is right now.
Wow, Avivit, this is beautiful. It looks amazing. I love how shiny it is. Well, guys, we're gonna let the dough rise, and we'll see you in a little bit.
See you soon.
Welcome back, guys. Now we're ready for our rogala filling. Avivit, take it away.
Thank you, Frenchie. So, the filling for the rogalach can be various options. You can do chocolate spread like Nutella, you can do the chocolate Israeli spread, shachar, you can make it parve or dairy, it's really up to you. But the best sauce that sits really nice on the rogalach dough is the one that you'll see today. It's easy, it really makes it so amazing in the oven. So, we'll start by actually turning on the gas stove. Oops, here. And I'm going to put the butter first, because I want the butter to actually melt a little bit. And then I will add the rest of the ingredients, which is the brown sugar, cocoa, and the pinch of cinnamon. You can see how nicely it's melting. And in 1 minute, we'll add the brown sugar and the cocoa. And again, guys, it's not really an exact science. I would always say, start with the butter, let it melt a little bit, not totally. Then add the brown sugar, the cocoa, and the cinnamon. And then when you see that it's almost getting ready, I would turn off, I'll show you, and then continue to stir until it's smooth. Now it's the time for me to add the brown sugar. I would add the cocoa. And as I said, a pinch of cinnamon. If you like more cinnamon, you can make it more. It really depends on your flavor. Now you can see that I'm stirring it, and I see the butter is almost melting. Well, it's hot. I don't need that anymore. I'm turning it off, keeping it there, just to stir it. Keep stir it until it's smoothly, and I see no crumbs, and I know it's ready. Do not do it too much under the heat, because it will burn. We don't want it to burn. We just want it to smooth all together, all ingredients in one.
Oh my God, Avivit, it smells incredible. Look at that, it's nice.
Isn't it amazing?
The color is phenomenal.
Look at that.
It looks so good. And guys, I wish you were here to be able to smell that, because that chocolate smell is incredible.
It's a chocoholic.
Chocoholic, absolutely. So
And we're ready.
We're ready for our next step, right?
Yes.
Guys, we'll see you in a minute. All right, guys, we're ready for the next step. Avivit, it's all yours.
Frenchie, look at that. Look how our dough is rising so much. Remember how it was small? Now it's double the size, and it's beautiful. Also, remember when we did the sauce, the filling, that's how it came right off the pot, right away. That's how it came off. I waited for half an hour to make sure that it's a little bit thick, so when I actually spread it, it won't run out of the dough. So now we're going to knead the dough. Now it really depends on, again, temperature and the dough itself. If it's too sticky, don't worry, you can add a little bit flour to it here on, so when you need it, it's not going to stick too much. Make sure, again, not to put too much flour. It will dry your dough. So I always say don't put too much, only if you need. Now, you have two ways to knead your dough for rogalach. You can do it in a very easy way. You make a circle, and then you spread the sauce, and then you cut it with our pizza cutter. You just slice it like pizza slices, really. You need triangles, thin triangles, not too thick, not too wide. But the more professional way and beautiful way to make it is to make a rectangle. So I will knead my dough, making sure, again, I'm doing as rectangle-ish as I can. That's super important. And that's how I have been teaching always, to do the rectangle. I like it more, it's come out more professionally. For kids, when I used to teach rogalach, I used to show them how to do it with the circle. It's easier for them and definitely not as complicated as the rectangle. Again, the rectangle is just to make sure that we keep the shape. And when we're making sure that it's ready, and same thickness everywhere, I will go and I will cut it just to make sure that I have the perfect rectangle. So I will make sure I have, here you go. And here you go. Look at that. That's the perfect shape that we want. After that, you can use from the leftovers and do again another small rectangle. Now I'm spreading the sauce. And again, as I said, you need to spread it. And if you find it a little bit too thickness and it's hard to spread, you can always use the microwave just a little bit to make it softer. I find it okay right now, and I work with it to spread all my rectangle. A little bit about the rogalach. That's something that we all ask. Yes, it's a Jewish pastry. It came from Eastern Europe. Everyone loves it. Rogalach is the reason why we're having coffee in Israel. You have coffee, you can have a rogalach. So that's something very funny that we all used to say. Rogalach are everywhere in Israel, in every grocery store, in every coffee place, in every bakery place. Everyone have rogalach. In the United States, I remember when I started to sell it at the beginning, I had to call it chocolate puffs. Who would know what a rogalach is, right? But again, you can see how it's just a little bit work to spread it, but it's way easier because when it's liquidy, it's too hard to spread it. And then when you try to make the triangles, it will be very hard. The sauce will come out. This way, I can assure you it's not coming out. And the sauce that I told you how to make, it's actually exactly for this quantity. You can see that I'm using all of it. You don't want to put too much. I know some people think it's good to put a lot. Then the rogalach the chocolate sauce will come out of the rogalach, and then you'll eat really the dough only. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, don't worry. Just use spatula or a knife, a soft knife, non-sharpie one, like flat one, and then you can spread your chocolate sauce all over, making sure I don't have too many holes, and small ones it's not a problem because again we're making triangle. It's a lot of stages to the rogalach, but at the end if you look at it, it's the best pastry ever. Like the babka, the rogalach are really yummy and good to have with your coffee or tea. Almost done. I'm going to use all my chocolate spread because I don't want to miss on anything that I made. It's so yummy and smells so good, this chocolate. Now we're ready to cut them. Here you go. In order to cut them right and make it really nice shape, we're going to use our pizza cutter. If you look at my rectangle, I'm going to do somewhere in the middle. I do in the middle, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut them going straight forward like that and make lines. So I'm going to make one line, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, sometimes you'll need to do more triangles. You'll see if it's too thick, but I would really recommend you not to do too thin or too thick. Now, you can see that it's a little bit too much. I really feel that they're too long right now because I made the whole dough in one time. I will make another half here and half here. The reason is that when I roll the rogalach, I don't want it to be too much rolled, and then you'll see what's the difference. So now I'm making another line in between the squares. So I'm really making a triangle in between the square. You see? Now it's really easy because the moment that you cut it and you organize your slices, it's easy to roll it. The whole important work right now is to make sure we have the triangle shapes, because that's what will make the rogalach nicely looking. Here you go. Now we're starting. I'm going to put the triangle here, and I'm going to start roll it. The secret to it is really not just to roll it and go. The secret to it is to pull it a little bit away from you. So then you have lots of times to roll it. You really pull it softly, gently, not to tear it apart. But look at that. Look how perfect we have a rogalach. And we'll put it in the pan. I'll make another one so we can understand how important it is to pull it away from you. When you start rolling it, you pull it from the end with your left hand, and if your right hand, with your right hand. But you pull it away from you and you keep rolling it. So we have many times that we roll it. That is a perfect rogalach. What do you think, Frenchie?
Avivi, this looks incredible.
Right?
Absolutely. I need to
Look
try
at that.
to do one.
Please.
I need to try to do one, Avivi.
Here you go.
All right, so let me grab this and see
Yes.
if I've listened.
If you listened well,
Exactly.
right?
So, start rolling it and then
Yeah.
take this,
And
pull
pull
it
it
gently.
away from you.
Ooh.
And you can see how many times, because my son complains, how come I have less rolling than you? It's so important how
Well-
many times you pull it.
Yours look
Beautiful.
yours look way better than mine.
The most important, remember that the top should always be in the bottom. Like the little thing shouldn't be on the top, it should be always on the bottom. So you have to make sure
all right.
that when you pull it, you're making sure to put it in the bottom. Look at that, Frenchie. I start to roll it and I making sure, look how stretchable it is.
Yes.
This is a very stretchable dough. Now, the more that you actually roll, the more beautiful
layer you
lines that
create.
you have.
Absolutely.
And the bottom will be here
And the
always,
bottom will be
so
here.
it won't open in the oven.
This is beautiful.
So here you go.
Well, let us finish rolling the rugelach and we'll see you for the final phase. See you in a little bit.
See you soon.
Guys, welcome back. We're almost ready to put our rogalach in the oven. So, Avivit, tell us about that next step.
So now we're going to use an egg wash to spread over our rogalach. The egg wash I use is I'm taking actually only the egg yolk and I add a little bit of drops of water to make it a little bit more liquidy. Because I don't want a lot on the rogalach, I just want to spread it.
All right, and the egg wash is to give coloring, correct?
Correct. It gives a little bit brownish color to my rogalach. So as you can see, we don't need to do too much. I use few in one brush.
So of course, if they look ugly on that tray, it's because I brushed them.
Oh, come on,
the
Frenchie.
beautiful one are gonna be on Avivit tray and not on mine.
Look the beautiful lines that you see on the rogalach, you know, Frenchie? That's really I call it the art. That's really
It is incredible. It looks so good. I mean, as you can see, this one is mine and it's really not nice. And that's why I'm not a pastry chef. That's why I don't do pastry or very rarely do pastry. So, you know, we're almost done with our egg wash.
Yes.
And I think we're ready to put this beautiful rogalach in the oven.
I agree. I just want to address again how important it is when you see the beautiful lines and you want to have the perfect rogalach at home. Make sure that when you roll it, you stretch the line, you stretch the end, and you roll it more and more. That's what makes it so beautiful.
That's such a great tip. That's such a great tip. All right.
Oh, and I forgot, Frenchie, again, the oven.
Oven, yes, temperature.
It has to be on 350. I would say 15 to 20 minutes, but it depends again. Sometimes you need less, sometimes you need more. The more important thing is to make sure that you have this brownish color, gold. Not too dark, not too light. That's when it's ready, and then that's when you actually spread the sugar sauce.
All right, let's put them in the oven.
Let's put it in
and
the
guys,
oven.
we'll see you in a minute. Welcome back, guys. So our rogalach are out of the oven. What are we doing now, Avivit?
We're just making a syrup from sugar and water. 1 cup of sugar, half cup of water. We let it boil, and now we actually put it on the rogalach.
All right. So what we want is to once it cools down, it's gonna bring the shininess out of it. All right.
That will
it's gonna
be
make
a
them
beautiful
shining.
and shiny rogalach.
All right.
Let's
So,
start.
Let's maybe space those a little bit.
Sure. Oops, sorry.
Up. Here.
And you can be very generous with the
Very
sugar.
generous with the sugar. All
The
right.
sauce is what making it amazing, yummy, and sweet.
All right. No. So, did you have fun?
Oh, I had so much fun. That's truly fun to do rogalach.
Yeah, no,
Even
it's
though
like-
it's a lot of work, it's fun because
It
at
is
the
fun.
end,
Well, you know, in the end, you're spreading love.
Exactly.
You're spreading love. At the
Exactly.
same time, here, not only love, but tradition. You know, this dish, this dessert is so deeply rooted in Jewish culture. And that's something that we have a tendency to forget sometimes. But, you know, this talk to a lot can talk to a lot of our people. So, guys,
I agree.
I hope you enjoyed it.
As much as we.
Exactly. And in a minute, I think we'll be able to try some.
Oh, I can't wait for that,
So-
Frenchie.
Guys, see you in a little bit. All right, finally, we're gonna be able to try our rogalach. And Ethan, Avivit's son, join us for the occasion.
I'm excited.
So, guys, let's all grab one.
in.
Dig in.
Dig in. Let's do l'chaim.
L'chaim, guys.
L'chaim.
And guys, See you soon on the next season of Jewish Cooking Around the World. I'm Frenchy.
Bye-bye.
This
Shalom.
is Avivit. Shalom for now.
Shalom.
Wow. That's so
Heaven.
good. That was so good.
I
Heaven.
could have like 10.
Nice.
Wow.
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 Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Creme brulee, scene 1, take
One.
That's the intro.
Oh, about them apples.
Dangerous clap ever.
That was a clap.
Scene something number 2.
You just made the blooper. It's the best one. Yes. We need to do it when it's still hot. Alla subscene. Nice. You got that, I hope. That's good. So gonna go in the blooper.
Scene 7, take 1.
All right, guys. So now we're oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. I forget I go right away to the sauce. Sorry.
I know that's a lot of empty space, right? But like, how much can you say about milk boiling? So I'm trying.
What you doing?
Marker. Scene 2, take. Wait. Scene 11, take 2.
Hi guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed our dessert episode, and you know, let me see what kind of question we have popping up right now. Marla, Frenchy, I hear, oh, your next season of classes. Well, thank you so much, Marla. We hope that we'll get some really, really great news for all of you really soon. Yeah, we're working on it. We're working on getting everything ready, getting, you know, some funding to be able to produce everything, and we hope to be able to come back to all of you really, really soon. Let me see on the chat.